If you woke up inside a coffin in the 1800s, you'd have a small chance of survival. Look, since there were too many cases of people being buried alive during that time, a tube was connected from the coffin to the surface to let air flow in. On the grave, a bell was connected to a rope that ran down into the coffin. If you woke up trapped, pulling the rope would ring the bell, giving the signal to the cemetery workers that you were still alive. In 1970, a doctor cut off a monkey's head and replaced it with another, meticulously connecting the neck tissues to the new head. The monkey survived, regained consciousness, and could see and hear, but the spinal cord couldn't be properly connected, making the monkey completely unable to move its body. And although the operation was technically a success, the monkey only managed to live for a few days.
Your American friend's parents invite you to sleep over at their house. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Bow down to greet them, hide your Chinese iPhone before going inside, and don't touch the guns in the house, or ask why they don't get along with their neighbors. But be careful, never make jokes about 9/11. They never land so well. On the other hand, if you need anything, ask your friend and never the parents. They'll get angry with you since they're so fat that they can't get up off the couch. But if you're confused because there's oil leaking from the garden, remember, don't even think about touching it, or you'll get the family in trouble. Finally, you're not allowed to close the windows after midnight. If a robber breaks in, the dad will be happy because he'll get to use his guns.
If a killer breaks into your house, turn off the lights and put pillows in your bed. The killer will think you're sleeping and you'll catch him. If you get bullied and they always steal your food, put laxatives in the food. They'll get diarrhea and won't steal from you again. If you travel to a country you don't know, never take a taxi at the airport. They are professional scammers and will steal all your money. If you're stupid and get lost in a dangerous neighborhood, don't turn around and keep walking. If you turn around, the criminals will think you don't live there and will kill you. If you're an idiot and put cutlery in the microwave, get out as fast as possible. If the waves hit the metal, your house will explode. If you fire a gun at another gun and the bullets manage to collide mid-air, they will probably shatter into 1,000 pieces due to the high-speed impact. But in some cases, if the bullets are made from the same material and the right conditions and angle happen, the intense heat and pressure from the impact could cause the bullets to fuse together into a single piece of metal. If you watch the sunset from the ground of the tallest building in the world and take a very fast elevator to the top floor, you could watch the sunset a second time. This happens because the earth is round, and the higher you go, the farther you can see the horizon. It also works if you're lying down watching the sunset. Stand up quickly and you'll be able to see it again. The bullet was fired at the house. Inside, a woman and her fiancé panicked when they saw that the bullet was heading straight for her. But in the middle, a metal thermos full of water was sitting on the table. Instead of hitting the woman, the bullet struck the thermos, and the impact bent the metal, protecting her and saving her life. If you see red mushrooms in the woods, check to see if they look like umbrellas. Even if Super Mario eats them and grows bigger, you'll get killed by the poison and die. If someone tries to choke you using a plastic bag, don't breathe and exhale all the air at once to inflate the bag. If you bite it, it'll pop like a balloon and you'll be able to breathe. If you're starving to death, look for trees with soft and moist leaves. If you suck on them, you'll gain energy but they won't kill you. If you get kidnapped, start peeing yourself. The kidnappers will get tired of the bad smell and they'll set you free. If your nose starts bleeding right before a date, don't put water on your nose. You'll stop bleeding for about 5 minutes, but the blood will build up inside your nose and you'll look ridiculous. If you have a bad toothache, rub ice on the back of your hand. The cold will trick your brain and it will forget about the tooth pain. If you fall into quicksand, don't make sudden movements. Instead, lean back and you'll end up floating to the surface. If you want to cool a drink really fast, wrap it in a wet cloth and put it in the freezer. 5 minutes later, it'll be ice cold.
If a thief breaks into your house, use a baseball bat with a sock on it to defend yourself. If the thief tries to grab the bat, it will grab the sock instead. If you're diving into someone else's pool, check the depth before jumping. It might be very shallow, and you could crack your neck. If you're walking to your car at night, keep your car keys in your hand. This will help you get in your car quicker, and if someone attacks you, you can use them as a weapon. If you're walking down the stairs, never put your hands in your pockets. If you lose your balance and fall, you won't be able to grab the handrail.
If you see a bill that's clean and wrinkle-free on the ground, don't pick it up. The bill has an invisible string and someone's pulling a prank for YouTube. If you find a USB stick on the ground, don't plug it in your computer out of curiosity. It's a trick that hackers use to steal your credit card information. If a poor child asks for help at night, don't follow him down dark alleys. He is the son of a criminal gang, and he has tricked you to rob you. If a stranger stains your clothes accidentally and offers to help clean them while apologizing, keep a close eye on their hands. It's a trick that pickpockets use to steal money. If you're lost in the forest, follow these 5 rules to survive. First, don't move. The rescue team will only search where you were seen before disappearing, not where you might have gone. Second, find water. You can survive 3 weeks without food, but only 3 days without water. But before drinking it, you need to filter it. Fold your shirt 4 times and pour the water through it. This helps remove dirt, bugs, and bacteria. Third, signal SOS. Make 3 signals of anything repeatedly. 3 flashlight flashes, 3 loud whistles, or even 3 fires. Fourth, build a shelter. Use branches, rocks, and bushes. Gather everything and make sure the roof won't collapse. Lastly, make a fire. Rub a stick fast against dry leaves on top of a log. When smoke appears, blow on it while still rubbing. Fire will help you stay warm, boil water, and especially catch the attention of rescuers.
If you show your house to your new girlfriend, don't try to hide your true passions. She might think you're a weirdo, but you could also find the love of your life. If you're sentenced to prison, but the judge asks you for a lot of money in exchange for your freedom, don't even think about paying it. It could be an honesty test to trick corrupt people. If a fish hook gets stuck in your finger, don't try to remove it by pulling it out. Instead, push it inwards and cut the tip with some pliers. If you have to sleep in the cold snow, look for a dead animal and sleep inside its body. Even though it's disgusting, you won't freeze to death during the night.
You hang out with your friends, but no one pays attention to you. Do this to become the group leader. Try to be the first to take action if you're all bored. Put down your phone and come up with a fun plan. But there's a problem, your group already has a leader. When they try to act cool in front of everyone, secretly steal the spotlight. If they tell an interesting story, interrupt with an even better one. On the other hand, don't be afraid to draw attention to yourself. But be careful, you don't want to be the clown of the group either. Finally, a good leader is the first to help out others. Was your friend cheated on? Take him out partying so he stops crying.
Did you know they updated chess? They added 4 new pieces. First, the monkey. It only jumps over pieces to an empty square, and if it lands on a rival piece, it captures it. Second, the elephant. It acts like a bishop, moving diagonally, but only for 2 squares. Then, the crow. Each turn it can fly to any empty square on the chessboard, but it can only capture monkeys and elephants on turns 20, 30, and 40. Finally, the bear. There's only 1 per game, and it starts in the middle of the board. It moves like the king, and it's only for blocking others or helping the monkey. Also, to win, you must capture both the king and the queen. If you're at your rich friend's house and break something, don't try to hide it. They have security cameras all over the house and they'll catch you. If you're at the beach and bury your whole body in the sand, do not do it near the water. If the tide rises, you'll slowly drown. If you're away from home and need to charge your phone, don't use public USB outlets. It's a trick hackers use to steal your information. If you're alone in a movie theater and a stranger sits next to you for no reason, pretend you're getting a phone call and change seats. It's very likely that he's a child kidnapper.
If you empty a giant packet of Orbeez into the ocean, most people think it would turn into a giant sea of Orbeez. But a single packet of Orbeez can only absorb about 2 cups of water, and the ocean contains 1,300 quintillion liters. So your packet of Orbeez would need to be 1,000 kilometers tall to turn the ocean into a sea of Orbeez. And even if you managed to pour all the Orbeez into the ocean, you would need a spoon the same size as the moon. If you're at a party and you feel like something has stung or pricked you, get out of there as fast as you can. Someone might have injected you with a drug to make you lose consciousness. If you're in the bathroom and you drop your phone into the toilet, don't try to put it in rice to absorb the water. It's a myth that doesn't work, and the rice could get stuck inside the phone. If you're the mother of a newborn baby, never take him to a public hospital. Other poor and sick patients might try to attack you out of jealousy. If you need to get an MRI, do not enter the room with metal objects. The machine has a super magnet that will attract them with massive force.
If you come across a wolf, shout and fight against it. Wolves only attack while in packs, and if you hit it, he'll get scared. If you're very sick, get up and go out to play sports. If you sweat a lot of liquid, you'll expel the virus from your body. If your father calls you on the phone, but he only wants to ask you for money, turn on airplane mode. He'll think you don't have coverage and will stop calling you. If you're lost on a completely desert island, but you're an idiot and don't know how to make fire, fish for raw fish and make sushi. First, remove all the bacteria and then eat it very carefully.
If you're lost on the street and you see a lot of kids asking for money, run away as fast as possible. It is an old trick used by criminals to steal from you. If you're an idiot and sleep with your phone, be careful. If it gets too hot, it will cause a big explosion and burn your house. If you have leeches sucking on your body, don't take them off. They'll vomit on the wound and you'll die from diseases. If you're on a bike and you're about to fall, freeze and do absolutely nothing. The bike will keep going straight by itself due to the speed.
If you see a service dog coming up to you, follow it immediately. It's asking for your help to save its owner's life. If a thief breaks into your home, don't turn the lights on or make any noise. You know your house better than he does, and you can attack him by surprise in the dark. If you start coughing, raise your arms above your head and count from 1 to 5. This will help clearing your lungs and will stop the coughing. If you wake up with a really strong headache, go and drink water as soon as possible. Your body got dehydrated overnight and your brain is trying to alert you.
How do you know what your dreams mean? If you dream of falling right before you wake up, it means that you have a lot of anxiety and your brain is trying to warn you. Dreaming about someone who has passed means you're still processing his loss and need to say goodbye to him. On the other hand, if you turn into an animal, it suggests that you should discover other parts of your personality. For example, transforming into a wolf means that you need to work on becoming more aggressive. Finally, when your teeth fall out in a dream, it suggests that you have many worries about your looks and hate looking in the mirror.
The parents of your rich friend invite you to sleep at their house. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Bow down to say hello. Leave your shoes outside before you go in and don't take photos or ask the price of any luxurious object. If you break something by mistake, don't hide it. It is very likely that they have security cameras all over the house. On the other hand, if you need anything, ask the butler for it and never the parents, because it's considered disrespectful. However, you're confused because in the bathroom you find too many towels. Remember, if they are bigger, it's better. Use the smallest towel to wash your hands, the medium one to dry your face, and the large one for your whole body. Finally, never open the windows after 12 o'clock. It is very likely that you will activate an alarm system and get everyone out of bed.
If your hand starts moving on its own and tries to choke you, it's very likely that you have a disease known as alien hand syndrome. This rare disorder happens when the part of your brain that connects both hemispheres is damaged. This causes the nerves in your hand to activate involuntarily, causing it to move on its own. And although choking yourself is very rare, your alien hand can perform random tasks without your permission. If your ex-girlfriend is destroying your car, this is what you need to do. Try to calm her down by saying something nice. If she's really angry, use force to defend your car without hitting her or hurting her. But if she has a weapon, don't get close. Instead, record it all with your phone and call the police. If she breaks anything on your car, she'll have to pay for it. Destroying someone's property is a serious crime, and she'll have to cover all the repair costs and could even end up in jail. But what if the car was a gift from your ex? If she gave you the car, but now she's mad at you because you cheated on her, you have to check whose name is on the car's paperwork. If it's in her name, it doesn't matter that she gave it to you. She can destroy it without a problem.
If your neighborhood isn't safe because of kidnappings, always hold your keys in your hand. They'll be like a brass knuckle and you will do double damage. If you have an accident and break your hands, scream at the top of your lungs, ambulance, 911, to get your phone to dial for assistance. Don't forget to check the back seats of your car before you start the engine. Criminals often stay hidden behind so they can kidnap you without warning. If you're lost in the open sea, float on your back and use your watch to reflect light. The ships will see the flashing light and come to rescue you.
If you're a slob and you don't wash your hair, cut it off right now. Your hair is rotted and it's the perfect home for lice. If you're being bullied and you're afraid of dying, punch them from behind. If you kill them, they won't bully you anymore. If they kill you, they won't bully you anymore. If you go in your house and there are thieves robbing, lock the door and burn the house down. If the thieves escape, the police will only have to look for suspects with burns on their skin. If you're an idiot and you put cutlery inside the microwave, get out of there as soon as possible. If the waves touch the metal, your entire house will explode.
If you run away from a bear, it will easily catch you. It's better to stay calm and avoid eye contact while backing away little by little. If the bear charges at you, do not move. Most of its attacks are just a bluff. If it really attacks, lie face down and protect your neck with your hand. Don't move and try to play dead, since bears often lose interest if they don't see you as a threat. A soldier was shot in the head in 1562. He fell from a wall and ended up landing in a hole, and the workers buried him, thinking he had died from the fall. When his loyal servant found out he'd been buried, he went to retrieve the body to give him a proper burial. But while he was digging him out of the hole, he discovered that the man was still alive. The soldier managed to survive, and he was able to tell others his incredible story. When a snake is eating something that's very big, it has the ability to open its jaw completely because the bones in its mouth aren't directly connected to the skull. Instead, they're connected through very flexible ligament, which can stretch and move. Once the animal's head is inside its mouth, the inner muscles of the snake contract with great force, pushing the animal down into the esophagus and stomach. If you get stabbed with a knife, don't remove it unless it's blocking a major airway. The knife will help prevent blood loss by sealing the wound. If you're getting chased by a poisonous snake, stomp the ground with your feet. The vibrations in the ground will mimic a bear's footsteps and scare it away. If a shark attacks you, kick its eyes and nose very hard. That's its weakest spot and you'll buy time to escape. If you're trapped in a mall and there's no light, look for colored crayons. They burn easily and can be used as candles. If you fall from the top of a building, there are 3 things you can do to increase your chances of survival. First, relax your body by moving your arms and legs to release tension. Now, aim to land on something that might slow your fall, like a tree instead of concrete. Try to position yourself upright to land on your feet so the impact spreads through your legs. Lastly, try to roll as you hit the ground to reduce injuries. If you win the lottery, don't buy designer clothes or sports cars. Everyone will think you have a lot of money and thieves will rob you. If a construction site suddenly appears in your neighborhood out of nowhere, check if the workers are wearing construction gear and using tools. They are probably building a giant bomb to blow up your neighborhood. If you're driving and your car falls into a lake, don't waste your time trying to open the door. It's impossible due to the water pressure. Instead, roll down your window and swim out. If you're lost in the middle of the ocean and you manage to catch a sunfish, don't even think about eating it. It has such a strong venom that it will kill you instantly.
Your poor friend's parents invite you to have dinner at their house. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Wear simple clothes, put away your fancy stuff, and hide your iPhone so it doesn't get stolen before you arrive. If the house is in bad shape, don't say anything. It's very likely they don't have money to fix it. On the other hand, don't say anything bad about the food. You have to eat it all, even if you don't like it. Try to join the conversations, but don't make jokes about money or mention your dad's new car. If they make noise while eating, don't correct them. But most importantly, never ask why there's no dessert, because that would be rude. Finally, when you finish eating, help clear the table and wash the dishes, and subscribe to Big Dan Baby.
If you're driving your car and another car starts following you, take your next 4 turns to the right. If the car is still following you, drive to the police station closest to you. If the ice in your drink isn't floating, do not drink it. It is very likely that it has been poisoned. If a guide dog starts barking at you, but it has no owner, follow it and call 911. You could probably save someone's life. If you are a man and you pee on a pregnancy test that comes out positive, go to the doctor as soon as possible. There's a good chance you have cancer.
A dog fell from a house and hit an old lady on the head. Both of them died instantly, and many people gathered to watch, even spilling out onto the street. But a bus ran over another woman who ended up dying from her injury, and another man had a heart attack from the shock of seeing 3 deaths in front of him. He ended up dying on the way to the hospital, becoming the 4th victim caused by the falling dog.
This is the longest song in the world. It has been playing since January 1st, 1999, and it will only end on December 31st, 2999. It's called Long Player, and it's set to play non-stop on those big bowl-looking instruments. And even though you'll never hear it all, you can listen to it live online.
If you move your arms as fast as possible, most people think that with enough force you could manage to fly upward. But is this true? Well, to be able to fly, you'd need to flap your arms over 100 times per second, almost as fast as a hummingbird's wing. And even if you could move your arms that fast, the air resistance would tear all your muscles in seconds. Now, if you put on perfectly designed wings on your arms and moved them at superhuman speed, maybe you could manage to float slightly, but it's practically impossible. This is the difference between prisons in other countries. In Italy, there's a prison that lets prison inmates open their very own pizza restaurant. And even though the chefs are all dangerous criminals, the restaurant has 700 reviews with more than 5 stars. But in Spain, you can live with your family. The Aranjuez prison allows your entire family to live with you inside the cell. The cell includes baby cribs, Disney characters on the walls, and even a playground for little kids. But in the Philippines, there's a prison where you can take dance classes to learn full choreography. Even if you're a serial killer, you can take dance classes to improve your discipline and your teamwork skills.
If you start working in an area with a lot of crime, buy a baby doll and pretend it's your newborn child. Thieves will feel sorry for you and won't try to rob you. If you cut off your finger in an accident, wrap it in a cloth and cover it with a lot of ice. That will help the finger preserve the nerves, and they'll be able to reattach it at the hospital. If you're an idiot and you get a tongue piercing, never have a girlfriend with braces in her mouth. If you try to kiss, you'll accidentally get stuck together. If you go to prison for the first time, don't talk to anyone and just punch the wall day and night. The inmates will think you're crazy and everyone will respect you. The parents of the girl you like invite you to dinner at their house. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Brush your teeth, put on perfume, and don't ask the mom's age when you say hello. If they introduce you to the little brother and he's an idiot, don't insult him or hit him because they'll get mad at you. On the other hand, at dinner, don't make noise when you eat and don't talk with your mouth full or they'll think you're nasty. Finally, when you say goodbye, don't try to kiss your crush. If the father notices, he'll kick you out firing shots. If you're going to eat exotic food in another country, don't do it the day before your flight. You'll start vomiting on the plane and make a fool of yourself. If you have an online class, never join the video call without pants. You might forget you're only wearing underwear, and if you stand up, you'll look ridiculous. If your tongue gets stuck to a frozen surface, don't try to pull it off with force. Instead, just pour a little water over your tongue. If a poisonous snake bites you, ignore the pain and take several pictures of the snake. That way, the doctors will be able to identify the species and know which medicine to use.
If water has flooded your house, turn off the electricity quickly. If the water reaches the outlets, you'll die electrocuted. If you are caught in a lightning storm, get inside a car as quickly as possible. If lightning strikes the car, the metal will absorb the electricity. If you get lost in the jungle, never eat a bright red mushroom. They are psychedelic fungi that will make you insane. If you wake up with an itch on the palms of your hands, run to the doctor. You have worms under your skin that are eating you from the inside. Do this if your little kids never shut up. Go to a store, buy a robe, a fog machine, and a knife. The night before, leave them a note written in blood that says, "Spoiled kids, the Lord of Silence has heard you. Shut up or I will cut off your tongues." They will read it in the morning and think it's a joke. But at night, when they are playing, say you're going out for a pizza. When you leave, go to the fuse box, turn off the lights, turn on the fog machine, and appear behind them whispering, "Shh," while you threaten them with the knife. When they try to run, chase them until you catch them. When they are cornered, you get close and you whisper again, "Shh." They'll get so scared that they'll pass out. While they are asleep, you carry them to bed. The next morning, you'll have brand new kids and you'll be able to enjoy your pizza in silence. If you go to the movies but the food is too expensive, ask your friend to hide snacks underneath her coat, pretending to be pregnant. If you're falling asleep in class, put your palms together and close your eyes. When the teacher tries to tell you off, tell them you're praying and not to interrupt. If you want to give your girlfriend flowers on Valentine's Day but you're broke, go to a cemetery and take flowers from a random grave. The owner of the grave probably won't mind too much. If you forget the name of your date, take her to buy a coffee at Starbucks. They'll write her name on the cup and you won't look ridiculous.
If you're in a building and about to use the elevator, never get in if there's more than 8 people. The cables won't hold the weight and you'll be crushed. If you're tied up and thrown to the bottom of the sea, don't try to break the knot with your teeth. You'll waste too much time and run out of air. First, move your head to float, then try to untie yourself. If you're in a fire and there's smoke everywhere, cover your nose with a cloth and crawl along the floor. Clean air stays near the ground while the toxic smoke rises. If you're on a plane that makes an emergency landing in water, don't inflate your life vest inside the plane. You could get stuck in the door and drown slowly. Your rich friend's parents invite you to dinner at their house. Do this so you don't look ridiculous. Silence your phone, place a napkin on your lap, and wait for everyone to receive their food before you. However, you're confused because there are too many utensils. Remember, first outside, then inside. Use the salad fork and knife for the first course, and the main fork and knife for the main dish. But what do we do with the spoon? Apparently, it should face the opposite direction and be used outward. If you want to pass food to someone, move it counterclockwise. Finally, when you're done eating, place your fork and knife on top of your plate and subscribe to Big Dan Baby.
If you're at a funeral that's very sad, don't try to cheer people up by saying a joke. You won't be funny and you'll make things worse. If you're going to scare your friend, never do it in a public place. You might scare the wrong person and get yourself into trouble. If you're at the movies and the person behind starts kicking your seat, don't start a fight in the middle of the movie. Instead, ask to switch seats with the one behind them and do the same. If you're walking your dog on a hot, sunny day, touch the ground with your hand for 10 seconds. If it burns your hand, your dog will also suffer burns during the whole walk. If a scammer calls you on the phone, do this to trick him. First, never accept a call from an unknown number. But if you've already picked up, do not say the word yes, because they might be recording the call. And use your yes to gain access to your bank account. Instead, don't say anything at all. If they say they're going to give you free money and ask you to press 1 to receive the money via transfer, don't do it. By pressing a button, you'll give the scammer access and they'll be able to control your phone line, which is very dangerous. For example, if you get a phone call from your real bank, the scammer can reroute the call to their phone instead of yours, while using a fake voice in order to pretend to be you and steal all your information. Do this to spot a fake police officer. First, check if his clothes are stained or wrinkled, and whether he wears a police cap or has a portable radio. Real police officers always wear a cap, so civilians that are in danger can easily recognize them. Also, they're required to wear a clean uniform and carry a radio. But don't just look at their appearance, also check their car. Real police cars have reflective decals on the sides and front in perfect condition. However, fake police cars usually don't have stickers and are often dirty. Now, watch the behavior of the officer. Fake cops are always nervous in case they get found out. If you ask for his ID, he'll get upset and angry with you. A real cop will always show you his badge and will let you call 911 to verify their identity.
If you're lost and have nothing to eat, do not try to hunt wild animals. They move very fast and you'll use up so much energy you'll die of exhaustion. If you see footprints outside your house, grab a rock before going inside. A murderer is waiting inside to kill you. If you're out walking at nighttime and someone calls you, do not turn. They are dangerous gang members looking for a fight. If you're an idiot and never make your bed, throw your mattress in the trash. It is full of dirty bugs that will rot your skin.
In 1820, a ship was suddenly attacked by a giant sperm whale. The whale struck multiple times, causing severe damage to the ship's structure. 2 hours later, the ship began to sink, and the entire crew abandoned the vessel by using small boats to escape. For months, they drifted across the ocean, slowly dying from hunger, thirst, and heat stroke, until one day they began eating each other like cannibals to survive. 90 days later, only 8 of the 20 crew members were eventually rescued. If your parents ask you to do something, do it so badly they'll never want to ask you again. They might punish you, but you won't have to do chores. If you're getting a cramp, raise your hand as hard as you can. That will get the blood flowing and the cramp will disappear. If you're studying for an important exam, chew gum while you do it. If you chew the same flavor of gum during the exam, you'll recall the answers more easily. If you're in a job interview and they ask about past work experience, buy a disposable phone and give them that number. When they call, you can speak very highly of yourself. If you're an idiot and you're vegan, don't go to the woods. If you get lost, you'll have to hunt to survive and you'll starve to death. If your friend is drunk but he wants to drive, steal his car keys. If he drunk drives, he'll run over a lot of people. If you're in a fire, don't breathe through your nose. The smoke will go into your lungs and you'll die from the toxic gas. If you're sick, get up and go exercise. If you sweat out enough fluid, you'll flush the virus from your body. If you're going down a water slide and you see a nail in the way, try your hardest to dodge it. If you hit it at full speed, you'll look ridiculous. If you're about to drive but you're dangerously tired, don't try to turn the music up to stay awake. Your brain will turn off anyway and you could have an accident. If you run into someone who's wanted by the police, do not panic and don't make eye contact. Just act normal while you secretly call 911. If you're being chased by a killer and need to escape without being seen, walk backward to leave reverse footprint. That'll confuse the killer and you'll fool him. Inside the killer's teapot, there are two chambers. One is filled with tea and the other with poison. If you cover the hole from the poison chamber, you will block the airflow, causing the poison not to be released, and only the tea will pour into the cup. But if you cover the hole from the tea chamber, only the poison will be able to pour into your enemy's cup. By covering both holes, no liquid will come out of the teapot, and if you don't cover either, both liquids will mix as they pour. This is Mike the chicken, and if you're wondering where his head is, let me explain. When Mike's owner was trying to kill this chicken, the axe he was using failed to fully cut off its head, and the chicken's brain remained perfectly intact. This allowed Mike the chicken to survive without a head for over a year and a half. They took care of him and kept him alive, feeding him through a straw, while cleaning the mucus from his neck so he could breathe. This made Mike the chicken become very popular. He even went on a world tour with his owner. The only reason he died a year later was because they forgot to clean his neck, causing him to tragically choke. If you get inside a fridge during a nuclear explosion, most people believe it will protect you from the blast. But is that true? Look, a fridge can slightly reduce the initial heat and radiation, but if you're even a little close to the explosion, the force of the blast wave would be so strong that the refrigerator would be violently thrown, causing serious injuries or death.